As far as the working is concerned of the Legislative Assembly, we have to understand that the Legislative Assembly is actually a place where the working goes on of the state government. And it is here that the questioning is done. Besides, the people can also question and review the work done by the minister in charge by asking questions from him, by writing articles, by criticizing, by appreciating his work in various newspapers and magazines and TV channels. That is to say, media can play a big role in the asking of the successful working of the government. This is the role of the people which they have to do in a satisfactory manner. Generally, press conferences are called after every successful functioning. For example, in a press conference, it is the minister who is responsible for the department and the people who can come and join the conference, but most important are the reporters of the various newspapers who gather there to collect information about the working functioning of the minister to the problem which has been faced recently. So, the press conference is a very important part of a successful, healthy government functioning. Now, Chief Minister and various other ministers are solely responsible for various works. Of course, Chief Minister is the overall in charge of the government in the state, and he is responsible for all the works which are done in various departments. But various MLAs who have become ministers of various departments are responsible for the smooth functioning of their own department. There can be an education department, there has to be a minister for the public work department and so on, who have to look into the functioning and also look towards the answers which are there in the problems faced by the various departments of their respective heads. Now, the newspapers and the media is responsible for asking, probing the questions to these ministers in charge and the chief minister, and it is responsible for bringing the exact report in front of the people. So, that's about the role functioning of the state government, who has to do all this in the Legislative Assembly as members of the Legislative Assembly, as heads of the departments, that is ministers, and of course the chief minister who has been appointed by the governor of the state. Another important wing of the state government is the municipal corporation. The municipal corporation is responsible for the health and also for the sanitation of the state. It has to ensure that there is a toilet in all the areas of the state, that is in the blocks that we have. It also has to ensure that every constituency or a block or the smallest area which has been cut out in a state has a health worker, so that the people get entire facilities which are required for the healthy living. Of course, the parliament is the place where the laws are made for the entire country. Once again, if I have to just sum up this chapter in few words, you have understood that the state government is in fact comprising of the MLAs, ministers, chief minister and the governor. Just remember once again Governor is the head of the state who has been appointed by the central government. Chief Minister is the one which is the elected head, that is to say elected by the people and is the leader of the majority party. The party which has gained majority, that is it has won more than half of the constituency seats. And the chief minister is appointed by the governor of the state. This governor was appointed by the central government. Then comes in the ministers. The ministers are those which have been appointed by the chief minister as the heads of the various departments of the state. That is, he could be responsible for education, for public works and various other departments. So, the ministers then is of course the MLAs, that is the MLAs are those which have been elected by the people from their respective constituency. And they could be of various political parties, not necessarily from the ruling party, the majority party. The MLAs are the ones who can become ministers. Okay, so they have a dual role to play. They could also be the MLA and they could also be the minister. So, the minister is an MLA, but not all MLAs are ministers. Out of these, say for 140 of them pick up the rank of becoming the independent in charges of various departments and thus are called as ministers of that particular department. Of course, headed by the chief minister who is their leader, and the head overall is the governor appointed by the central government. That was all which is there in this entire chapter. Then a wallpaper project is simply a project, an activity by which the research can be done on favorite activities, projects of the topics that you would like to. So that was all about your chapter, the functioning of the state government, how it is elected, who are the people who are electing, what are the constituencies, what exactly is MLA, who is the chief minister, who is the governor, and how are they responsible, how can people probe questions, what is a press conference. This is all that you need to know about in this chapter. Thank you.